Here we are at the main pavilion at the Medina County Fair. Veterans Day at the fair. We're going to go around and talk to some of the various veterans organizations and groups from the VA that are here and see what they do for Medina County and its veterans, all right? So come on, let's go. So here I am with Wendy Hayes of the Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery, and she's got a table set up here with various materials. So Wendy, what brings you and the cemetery out to different events like this for Veterans Day at the fair?
Well, mainly what we want is all veterans to realize that Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery is here and available to them. We have a lot of information set out regarding eligibility and what is available out at the cemetery.
In the cemetery, for those of you that have not been out to the Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery in Medina County, southern portion, it is kind of our Arlington of Medina, we like to say. It is a wonderful, beautiful cemetery. And if you haven't been there for a drive-through on the weekend just to see the memorials and stuff, I encourage everyone to go out there. I'm standing here with Chuck Solander, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Chuck is an outreach specialist for Ohio Department of Veterans Services and Ohio Veterans Home. And I want to welcome you to Veterans Day at the fair.
Well, thank you very much.
And what brings you guys out to Veterans Day at the fair? I mean, do you meet a lot of veterans that are interested in the Ohio Veterans Home at venues like this?
Well, we already have, and I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more here. We really just want to spread the word and let all the veterans know, what homes are and, all the information that we have and what's out there eligible for.
In the two Ohio Veterans Homes, a lot of people think that they're VA homes or federal homes.
Yes, sir.
They are owned by the state of Ohio, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
And the big one in Sandusky and then another one down in Georgetown, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And what kind of care is provided at the two homes?
Well, we have, there's a nursing home level of care, which is specialized care.
Okay.
Also, we have we have an Alzheimer's unit and a dementia unit. And we also have independent living with our domiciliary.
And I got to tell you, I've been up to the Sandusky one. Actually, I've been in both of them, but the Sandusky one more. It is a beautiful place.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of good stories go around up there with the veterans. The old war stories. They don't go away. So I want to thank you for coming out to the Veterans Day at the fair here in Medina County. So here I am with Cal Bias, the Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 72 in Medina. But more importantly, I want to introduce you to somebody from our office, Jenna Sloniker, and she really is the lifeblood of this. She put it all together today and got all these groups to come out here, and I want to say thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
So is it a lot of work?
It takes some time and effort, definitely. Yeah.
So how'd you get Cal out here?
I sent out invitations a couple weeks ago to all the organizations throughout the county, and he's part of the DAV, so
here he is.
Here he is.
I want to thank you both for coming out. I want to thank you for all you do in our office. Here I am with Cheryl and Tina from the Cleveland Veterans Health Administration, and they're here at Veterans Day at the fair here in Medina County. So, are you seeing a lot of vets out here today?
Yes, we have.
And what do most of them ask you?
About eligibility.
For health care?
Yes, for health care. We have a lot of retired veterans asking now because now they can get enrolled in VA because of their income. And also asking about new veterans that we also serve.
Now, just to clarify, VHA is different from VBA, which is the Veterans Benefits Administration.
That is correct.
And you guys don't really do a lot with the benefits and stuff?
No.
No, that's something we deal with in our office. So,
yes.
I mean, it's great that you guys send people to us, and I appreciate that. Is there one thing that, if you could tell a veteran, that you would advise them to do?
Enroll in VA healthcare.
Enroll in VA healthcare and see if you're eligible.
Yes.
There you go.
And don't think that you might not be eligible. You have to fill out the application and see.
Because there's a lot of times there's different eligibilities.
Yes,
so,
right.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming out to Veterans Day at the fair here in Medina County.
Thank you
for inviting us.
Thank you.
Here I am with Mr. Ralph Waite. How you doing, Ralph?
I'm doing fine.
And Ralph is with Medina American Legion Post 202. And Ralph, I know most people know you throughout the county, and one of the things that I think is very special that you did is working with Buckeyes Boys State.
Buckeye Boys State, absolutely.
And how many years have you worked with that?
I've worked with them about 39 years.
And what's important about Buckeyes Boys State? What does it do?
What it does is it gives the delegates that are selected from schools around Ohio to learn about Ohio government, county government, and city government. Started in 1936 with World War I veterans because they were concerned about the youth and communism and what was going on in the world. We thought that they ought to have an opportunity to find out about our government.
I think it's important, the kids that go out there come back so much more knowledgeable about how our government is supposed to operate and how it operates. And I always say I think there's a lot of adults that could actually go out there and use a course in it because it is so interesting for those that haven't been out there.
It is, and it started out with a couple of hundred at the State of Ohio Fairgrounds, and it's now at Bowling Green State University. About 1,172, I think, were there this year.
Wow, 1,172 students?
Right.
Wow, that is great. And there is also an equal to that, Buckeye Girls State,
Buckeye
correct?
Girls State is held in Alliance at the college there, and they had about, I think, 800.
Yeah. I know my daughter went to Buckeyes Girls State a couple years ago.
Right.
Came back, said it was a fantastic program, and I know my son's looking forward to going to Buckeye Boys State when he's eligible in a couple years.
We certainly will look forward to having him. And one of the things it teaches you to make easy to make friendships by running for county office or city office, and they gain their growth there.
Well, I think it's a good, they attend between their junior and senior year in high school, and so it kind of, they're kids getting ready to go to college. They get to spend a week on a campus and see what that's like too, also from the college perspective. I think it's important to know that if there's a boy or a girl out there in one of the Medina high schools that is interested in that, they can contact their local American Legion, and it's free. They're sponsored by various organizations to go, right?
Various organizations sponsor them at a cost of $300 per student, and we also take homeschool students.
So they don't have to be in a high school.
Right.
And it's free for the student.
It's free for the student.
So if you're interested, contact your local American Legion. That'd be great if your son or daughter is interested in going to Buckeye Boys or Girls State. So here I am with Randy Schmidt and Dave Belinovich out of the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 72 in Medina. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
And Randy I know well because he's one of my bosses. I also want to point that out, that he's one of the Medina County Veteran Service Commissions. So have you seen a lot of vets go by today, Dave?
We've seen more than I thought with the weather.
With the weather? It is kind of rainy out here and windy, but it's always a great day to be a Veterans Day at the fair, right?
Always.
So what is the Disabled American Veterans, what separates them from the other veterans organizations?
Well, primarily it's we're oriented towards serving veterans who are disabled, their families, and their survivors. You have to have a service-connected disability to join the organization. We do a lot of community outreach. This chapter here in Medina just got its 75-year charter plaque, so we're one of the oldest organizations in the county. We do a lot for the local community, and of course we're most known for our service helping veterans file claims with the DAV POA, which Ed helps us out with.
Great, and I want to point out that our office is accredited with the Disabled American Veterans. Now Randy, how long have you been a member of the Disabled American Veterans?
15 years.
15 years. Is that just here in Medina, or
Yes.
was it? And what separates, in your mind, as a member, the DAV from other organizations?
Well, as Dave mentioned, we deal with disabled veterans and their families. If they're in need, we do outreach programs. We give food and other vouchers out to help them out in their situations.
Great, great. Here we are with 4 members of the American Legion Post 234 out of Brunswick, and I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting Veterans Day at the fair. We've seen a lot of veterans?
We've seen quite a few.
Quite a few. And what's the questions that veterans are asking you as one of the veterans organizations?
What kind of benefits that they might be able to be entitled to?
I got to ask, are you seeing younger folks come up to the organizations or anything like that?
I've seen mostly older.
Mostly older?
There's been quite a few younger ones this morning.
And are they asking about membership, or are you guys selling membership?
Mostly they're asking about benefits.
Benefits.
I think we need a little more instructions out there so that veterans know what they're entitled to.
Okay.
And not only the younger guys, but the older ones are asking about spouse benefits and different things like that.
Now, I know one of the things that all the organizations in the county do is the color guard. You guys have a color guard that goes down to Rittman, right?
Very accurate.
You remember that color guard, Ralph?
Yes, sir.
Now, why is it important to do that? I mean, I know why it is, but from the heart, why do you guys think it's important, and gals?
Because it's an honor.
It's an honor to serve in the military. It's an honor to go out there for you guys to show that respect.
Sometimes
right?
you'll see nothing but the Undertaker there. We are family.
Your family.
Honor.
And we remember them from the times when they fought in World War II, Korea and Vietnam, any of the Afghanistan, Iraq, that we remember them and we want to respect them on the day they died.
There's really only one answer, and that's to honor the veteran that passed away.
It's the last chance, last time someone's going to be able to do that. Absolutely. Here I am with Veterans of Foreign Wars post out of Medina, and this is Dan Mason. You are the first vice, is that correct, Dan?
I'm the senior vice commander, yes.
Senior vice commander for the Veterans of Foreign Wars. And you got a group out here today with you. You brought a whole bunch of members.
Yes, we did. We got Harry over here, Nicole. We got Andy over here. We got our chaplain, Pat Pinkerton. We got Ray Fain over there. And of course, our great commander, Scott Kopstein.
Now, you guys got various things out here that you're asking donations for and information. I mean, what's the key message that the Veterans of Foreign Wars is trying to put out to the veterans going through here today?
The key message is that we're all veterans. We're all family. And please join us and come to our post. We're always there for the veterans in need. And we just encourage the veterans of all branches to come and join us and be a part of our ever-growing family.
Now, I know all the posts are pretty active in the county and do a lot, but the VFW in Medina, you guys do a lot of fundraisers. What's some of the fundraisers that you've worked on throughout the past year?
Well, we did the Greater Cleveland Fisher House. We have did all kind of different functions for going to our nursing homes, trying to raise awareness for all the other organizations, just anything and everything that we can do to help our veterans.
Great.
Well, don't leave out all the scholarships we give to the community.
That's right.
That's right. I know you just gave away a couple high school scholarships.
Right.
Just going to college. Hey, I want to thank all you gals and guys and gals for coming out today to support Veterans Day at the Medina County Fair, and keep plugging away. I mean, we're going to get some members in here hopefully and grow these organizations, right?
Right.
All right, let's move on, okay?
Thank you.
Here we are with Wadsworth American Legion Post 170, and I got Joe Rogers, Commander.
Yes.
How you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, what brings you out to Veterans Day at the fair?
To show the veterans that we support them.
There you go. And tell me what does the Wadsworth American Legion do to support its veterans in particular?
Well, we give, we're a part of the medal ceremony.
Okay.
We go out and we feed veterans during the Christmas and Thanksgiving. We pick veterans that are in need and do that. We give to the Salvation Army. We give to St. Vincent de Paul.
I know you guys do a lot down there in Wadsworth for our veterans.
Yeah, we support the community.
You guys are great. I know you have all sorts of banquets. I've been to your blind veterans banquet down there. Raises a lot of money for our blind veterans.
In fact, we just got through help raise $20,000 for the Wounded Warriors.
Wow, that is.
And it was sent to Florida.
That is great. That is great. Are you talking to a lot of vets coming through today? Or?
Yes, we are. In fact, we have pins we're giving out to all the veterans.
Thank you very much.
In fact, anybody can have one, even you.
You know, here I got something for you. Can you hold that there, Chuck? I got, since he's giving me a pin, I think it's only right that I give him something back. So I got a sticker here that says I'm a veteran, Medina County Fair. I'm going to throw that on there. We're going to get all you guys here before I leave. But I want to thank you for coming out and supporting the fair today, Joe, all right? I'm here with an organization that is not specifically a veterans organization, and they are Rolling Thunder Incorporated. I'm here with Chapter 8, and I got Mr. Ray Lutner. How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing very good, Ed. Great to see you again.
It's good to see you. Always a pleasure to see you guys. I love you guys. You guys are not a veterans organizations, but you do so much throughout the county and throughout the nation for our veterans. I mean, is that your main charter, is to support our veterans?
Yeah, absolutely. Our main charter would be to, first of all, make the public aware about the POWs and MIAs from past wars that were never returned back home after the wars ended and concluded, and to seek through the government assistance to have them returned, foreclosure for their families, and to make the public aware that these gentlemen, women were not ever returned. The other function of our mission statement is that we're here for all veterans from all wars to provide whatever assistance that we might be able to, whatever the circumstance.
Now, to be a member of Rolling Thunder, you don't have to be a veteran, but a large portion of you are veterans, is that correct?
Probably about half of us are veterans, but as you just said, no, it's not a prerequisite at all. And the other thing that a lot of people in the community might think that we're a motorcycle organization, and that is also not true. Many of us do ride motorcycles, but that's not something that you, if you're interested in joining Rolling Thunder, you don't have to be up on a bike.
Hey, there's nothing wrong in riding motorcycles, is there?
Absolutely not. No. Very good time.
Well, I think it's important to know, though, that you're not all veterans, because there, a lot of people think, well, it's just vets that support veterans. There's a lot of people out there that support our veterans, and that's great that you either know a veteran or you just want to support us. I mean, I think it's great. You guys raise a lot of money. I know here in Medina County and throughout northeastern Ohio, you've raised a lot of money for Wounded Warrior. I think Fisher House is your big ones now.
Yes.
I want to thank you all for coming out to Medina County Veterans Day at the fair.
Great
Thanks
to
so
be
much.
here, Ed.
Thanks,
Thank you very
great.
much.
We'll see you, okay? All right, here I am with Mr. Ron Euler and Mr. Jim Coolis from the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 385 out of Medina. And I also want to point out that Mr. Coolis here is one of the Medina County Veteran Service Commissioners. And I want to thank you guys for coming out to Veterans Day at the fair.
Well, thank you very much. We're glad to be here.
A lot of Vietnam veterans going through, Ron?
Yes, we've seen quite a few.
Are you getting them to join, or are they interested in becoming members?
We've had a couple come in for members. Yep.
All right. Guys, I got to tell you, the Vietnam veterans are in my heart. I know I'm in the shadows of you guys, but when I got off the plane, you were the first hand I shook coming home from Afghanistan, and you were there for all my men that were behind me. And you guys support this county and the veterans of it that are coming back from these two wars today immensely, and you do a lot for them. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you both for coming out to Veterans Day at the fair.
You bet.
All right.
Thank you.
Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 385. If you're a Vietnam veteran out there and you're looking for a place to call home and you want to talk to somebody, just, old war stories, give them a call, okay? Thank you. Here I am with American Legion Post 202 out of Medina, and I got Mr. Dave Lofi to my left and Mr. Ray Hewitt to my right. Now you guys, do a lot throughout Medina. I know the American Legion here does a lot to support our veterans. You also have a color guard, is that correct?
It is, Ed. We have an honor guard that is really well recognized here in Medina, and we are called for a lot of different functions. We get called for some veterans that may be at a funeral home that aren't associated with a military unit of sorts, and we're only too happy to go. And of course, our biggest honor is when we're down at the Western Reserve National Cemetery to bid a final farewell to the veterans who served our country.
And I know you guys do funerals all over the place when people call and ask. Don't necessarily have to be a Legion member or anything.
No, they don't have to be a Legion member. It's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood with our veterans, so we're only too happy to go.
That's great. Now I know, Mr. Lofi, you guys you're in the old Medina Memorial Hall.
Veterans Memorial Hall.
Veterans Memorial Hall. And you guys are you got a remodeling project going on or some fundraisers or something?
Yes, we have a fundraiser going on right now. We're out there to renovate it and get a paved parking lot, new heating system, air conditioning. If we get our full amount, a new kitchen where we can then offer meals and such. It's a big project.
I think it's great that we're trying to bring these halls and stuff up to date, and hopefully it'll attract some new members, because we need new members, right?
We sure do.
Well, hey, I want to thank you guys for coming out to Veterans Day at the fair. Any words you got for veterans out there that are maybe looking for a place to call home as far as an organization and the American Legion?
Yeah, they can give us a call. You can call me, as a matter of fact. I'll give you my number. It's 330-421-1583. I'm the first Vice Commander of the American Legion and Captain of the Honor Guard.
All right.
And I just want to let the veterans out there know that we do need members in all veterans organizations, the VFW and the American Legion, because right now, who's going to fight for the veterans' rights? We got these young boys and women, men and women coming from Afghanistan and all that area there. who is going to represent them later on in life, where we got get members to go to the legislative branch, to the Congress and all that stuff, looking for our rights, our benefits as veterans. We're not a social program, we are a veterans program.
Great. Yeah, I think it's important to note that the veterans organizations are much more than hot dog sales on the weekend. They do a lot for our veterans and for the benefits that they get out of Washington. Here I am with a little known group from Medina County, and it is called the Medina County Women of the Military. I'm here with Frances and Lisa, who are both members, and obviously the name gives it away. They are women made up of the military from Medina County. And Lisa, I'm going to ask you, how did this group get started?
Well, we've been around for about 12 years when women decided to get together and form their own organization just for get together for social events and camaraderie and Memorial Day parade and events like that. So we've been meeting regularly since then, and we are actually open to any women who have ever served in any branch of the service, no matter where they live. We have most of our members are in Medina County, but we have a lot of members from surrounding counties as well.
So, Frances, you have a lot. I know there's some history here with the Medina County Women of the Military, but what are the books that we got in front of us?
They're like biographies of different members. They contributed. They've given their history, their story of their service in the military.
And I mean, the little bit of history that I know, when we talk about women in the military, it goes way back. I mean, it doesn't just go back a few years. It goes way back to Molly Pitcher. In World War II, the women played a big role. Do you have members that are part of that era that have shared their stories in there?
We do. There are several members that are from World War II era. We have Vietnam veterans and presently serving members too.
Now, speaking of presently serving, you are?
Myself. I am in the Army Reserve for 19 years.
And just returned home from?
From Kuwait. Had a 90-day deployment and had a good time there.
There you go. A good time there, right? That's always good to say. That's the Army way. It's always a good time, right? What branch of the service did you serve in, Frances?
I was in the Navy Nurse Corps, and basically stationed at Bethesda and rallied during the Cuban crisis.
Oh, okay.
It's a little back.
Well, I want to thank both of you and for coming out today, but if someone's interested in joining the Medina County Women of the Military, who or how can they get in touch with you?
You can find us on the web. We have a meetup.com, M-E-E-T-U-P, meetup.com site. Just search Medina County Women of the Military. And we're also on Facebook.com, facebook.com/Medina County Women of the Military. All run together. If you can't find us there, we have a Yahoo email, which is, I'm going to read off, mcwomilitary@yahoo.com.
I'm here with Mr. Brian Maurer from the Wade Park facility, is that correct?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay, and Brian, what do you do down there at the Wade Park Hospital?
All right, I'm our community outreach coordinator, so I go out to events like this out in the community trying to help veterans with their enrollment in VA healthcare.
Well, I want to thank you for coming out and supporting Veterans Day at the Medina County Fair. Have you been able to talk to a lot of veterans?
Absolutely. We've talked to probably about at least 50, maybe even closer to 100 veterans here today, able to provide them with benefits information and materials. I've been able to help many veterans out who are not only enrolled in VA healthcare with just general benefits information, but able to assist about a dozen or so with their enrollment in VA healthcare as well.
So Brian, let me ask you, is there one question that stands out when people are talking to you that maybe is repeated over and over that people ask about?
Sure, there's a couple, but generally we do get a lot of general health care questions. Veterans just aren't familiar with what benefits are available to them through their service, what they're entitled to through the VA. So we always make sure they're aware of some of the key features that we offer, such as a free hearing aid, a great prescription medication program, amongst others that we offer at the VA.
So is there any advice that you'd give our veterans out there that maybe if they're not enrolled or if they are enrolled and aren't using it, is there anything that you'd want to tell them to maybe attract them back to the VA here?
Sure. Well, I would encourage all of them to enroll. Even if they were told they may have been ineligible, or if they're not sure if they're eligible for their benefits, to absolutely get into one of our clinics or come to an event that we're going to be at and speak with one of our subject matter experts in regards to enrollment. So at least that way they know for sure what they're going to be eligible for through the VA.
And eligibility changes sometimes. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So even if a veteran's enrolled, maybe they are currently ineligible, as long as we have that information on hand and available, if eligibility changes, we can get a hold of them and let them know that they may actually be eligible for care, get them back into the clinic and make sure we can get them taken care of.
Well, I want to tell you, I used the Wade Park facility down there. I used the Akron CBOC too, and it's first-class care in my book. So I want to thank you for everything you do, and I want to thank you for coming out and supporting Medina County Veterans Day at the fair.
Sure, you're welcome, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. So here we are in the community center, and we came in from outside because, it's a little cooler in here with air conditioning, but I got Howard with me, and Howard is with the Medina County Marine Corps League, is that correct?
That's correct.
And right next to Howard, we got the Medina County Veterans Service Commission booth, and I got Mr. Joe Destro, who's one of the Veterans Service Commissioners. And I just want to ask you guys, you're here every year, is that correct,
Yes.
Howard? And
Yes.
what do you do? What's the Marine Corps League have a booth here every year for?
We collect for Toys for Tots and give them out at Christmas time, and we also do the burials out at the National Cemetery.
You have an honor guard or
Yes,
color guard goes out
I'm
there?
on the honor guard.
There you go. And it's a great service that you provide out there.
Yes, it
At
is.
those burials. Mr. Destro, I want to say you've been on the Veterans Service Commission for how long now?
I believe about 2 years.
2 years. And I know we've been coming to the fair now for about 7 years, and we see a lot of vets go through here. Have you had a lot come through today and ask questions?
We've had a few come through and ask questions. They're always interested in what the benefits are. A lot of them now that they're getting older are interested in National Cemetery, and what they have to do. So that's why we're here,
right,
to give them those answers that weren't questions a few years ago but are today.
I'm here with Mr. Mike Paul, and he's the president of the Medina County Veterans Memorial Hall in Medina. And I want to thank you for being here today, Mike.
Thank you.
Now, you guys are located in Medina over there on North Broadway, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you guys obviously you got a huge fundraiser, something going on. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
The goal is to rebuild the hall.
Mhm.
It was built in 1956. It has not changed since then. And what we'd like to do is remodernize the hall so we can bring in additional veterans. It means air conditioning system, a new heating system, pave the parking lot, which is
some ADA compliant stuff. And
exactly, yeah.
Right.
And the goal is to raise $1 million. Right now we have $258,000 that we are committed for.
And I know there's members of you got the Disabled American Veterans is in
Right.
the hall. You have American Legion Post 202s in
Right.
there.
AMVETS.
AMVETS in there.
And Vietnam Veterans
and the
of
Vietnam Veterans of America is in there. And there a lot of people hear Home Corps, and I know Home Corps is kind of an organization that was started to bring all four of those together to operate the hall. Is that correct?
Well, Home Corps is called the Courtney Lawrence Memorial Hall.
Okay.
They're the owners of the hall. Just for abbreviation, we call it Home
Home
Corps.
Corps. I just wanted, in case anybody hears that, they know what it is. But there's four veterans organizations in the hall. It needs modernization badly, and hopefully we can get to that $1 million for you guys.
I think we will.
I want to thank you for joining us today at Medina County Veterans Day at the Fair, a proud tradition here at Medina County and at Medina County Fair. Those organizations that we talked to today, I want to thank all of them, and if you're interested in knowing any of those people or getting in touch with them, please call our office at 330-722-9368. The first day of the fair every year is Veterans Day, and it's free admission to those veterans that have identification to get in.